Good morning. Is that sunshine in the rain? New day dawning. Somehow everything's the same. Sun keeps rising in the east. In the belly of the beast, that's where I'm from. The city that always sleeps. The city that always sleeps. The city that always sleeps. The city that always sleeps on the road.
Starting the show off right now, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised at the top of the hour, we do have a special interview and some special guests in the building. We got CashWaveyBoiz in the building. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, it was good, bro.
It was good, man.
Let me make sure these levels are good. So real quick, individually for these beautiful people watching and listening on the MakeWay Radio App, go download that right now if you haven't already. Introduce yourselves to these beautiful people.
My name is Frankie De Niro,
My name is Kenny Richmond.
and we are the CashWaveyBoiz. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So, we met in person for the first time when you guys all came up here last time as well.
Right.
Shout out to Miro, shout out to Ash Graphics. You guys were all in the building, and since that time, you guys have been making a lot of noise. I've been seeing you guys on the timeline a lot doing your thing.
Yeah.
Now, let's get right into it because, of course, we're going to start the interview off a little bit, introducing yourselves to listeners who may not be familiar with you guys before you do that. But first, I got to ask you, man, how you guys feel on getting all this blog love for this last video you just put out?
Shit, I can't even keep up with everything, man. There's just too many things, but I love it that people love our shit, love our music. I fucks with it. If they fucks with me, that's all love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're doing good. As long as they show love, they share it, they like it, and
Because we got our own lane, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to block out everything else. Everybody's there doing their own thing. That's what we got to do. We got to keep doing our own thing, you know what I'm saying?
Keep it original, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that me and Miro were actually talking a little bit before you guys got here about that. I was telling them how I kind of feel like you guys' music is kind of a cool cross between what's trendy and relevant right now, but also you guys kind of keep it to the essence. So, you keep the lyrics coming in, and you keep that sort of golden era vibe about it as well.
Exactly, because we grew up on that era, you know what I'm saying, about bars.
Yeah.
In the 90s,
When you had to be nice to be
Exactly.
considered a rapper, right?
Exactly. Yes. So we made it a focus that, okay, we can make it trendy, we can make it poppy, you know what I'm saying, but still have the bars behind that, That's important to us, because if we're just saying gibberish, then, if it's not perfect to us, it's not perfect to the other people, you know what I'm saying?
that's what makes us different. Is we have bars, we get the melodies, like you said, like the new school.
Yeah.
We can keep it 90s,
Yeah.
pop.
So being that you guys are a two-man group, I'm imagining there must be some sort of duality between the two of you guys. Is there one of you guys is more towards sort of the old school, and then one of you guys is more towards the new school?
I would say Kenny Richmond is more about the bars. He grew up on that New York style, battle rap and everything. I grew up on the West Coast shit, so it's more flowy and vibey. It just came together like that. Yeah.
I remember last time you were saying you was a fan of the
Bone Thugs too,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
I'm with you on that one. So let's talk a little bit more about your influences, and then I got a pretty cool question coming in the chamber after that. So who influenced you guys growing up?
I listened to a lot of Eminem before. That's how I started. Then I went lean towards more like Weezy. Then you go way back, maybe a bit of Nas, AZ. I grew up a lot of AZ.
AZ, big up, yeah.
Yeah, I like AZ, man. I fuck with this guy.
He's very underrated.
Yeah, exactly. That's why not a lot of people know him. That's why the whole firm.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, man. The funny story is the way I got introduced to hip hop was my boy borrowed me a Nelly CD, Country Grammar.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just, I started searching up better lyricists. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Wu-Tang too. I love Wu-Tang. Shit, if you ask me what's my favorite rapper, I cannot tell you or pinpoint just one. You know what I'm saying? There's so many influences from the East Coast, from the West Coast. But if I were to say one of my biggest influence would be Snoop Dogg.
Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop. It's just smooth with it,
Yeah, absolutely. One of the smoothest
Young
ever.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
He's
The
dirty.
gin and juice days.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Before
Doggy
he
style.
turned dread on us.
Yeah.
It was a little weird, but it's okay. We still got love for Snoop.
Before he became Lion. Yeah.
So I had noticed that Miro had posted an article a couple of weeks back just talking about Asian influence in hip hop these days. Now, of course, I want to ask you guys about your take on this and where you guys fit into that in terms of the culture right now.
Want to take this?
I think that the first Asian rap I actually listened to was what was the track?
Keith Ape?
Yeah, Keith Ape.
Keith
yeah,
Ape,
when he dropped that
Ichima,
first-
yeah,
the
that
Ichima,
shit was
that was
trapping,
booming. That was
that's
just
dope.
a new like a new wave of sound, you know, and it's just the fact that they're Asian too, it just caught the eye, and then just like
Yeah.
they made movements, and then slowly you see 88 rising, and you get Brian, and just, I feel like it's the right moment for Asians to be like, just to come up. That's why we came up together, and we're just like, yo, we have to make music for us, for the people, for Asians, just to represent that we have some type of,
Filipinos,
like,
yeah,
hip-hop
yeah.
in us, you know,
Because
it's not just-
Filipinos don't have a voice,
That's
in
it.
that big of a voice in the hip hop culture, but it's always been in our culture. You know what I'm saying? We love
Exactly.
hip hop, so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a path for everybody else, the kids, the youth, to look up to us and be like, if he can do that, I can do that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And the crazy thing is, you know, growing up in my era, when people said Asian and hip hop, the first person they thought of was Jin for whatever reason. It was just that was the guy that people was
He was the
talking
guy
about.
before, yeah.
And I mean, he was a good battle rapper, but his music never really translated. He couldn't
Exactly,
seem to
yeah.
pen a record. One thing you guys are very good at is seeming so far is making good music. So that's very important.
I appreciate that, yeah.
That being said, we're actually going to cut to the first record right now. We're going to cut to Last Night. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got CashWaveyBoiz in the building, and we got a lot more ground to cover. This is Heavy Hitters Radio coming to you live from 1195 Dilly Glees. You know what it is, man. We live until 8 o'clock. Let's get it. We're back on Heavy Hitters Radio. You just heard Last Night from CashWaveyBoiz, who we have in studio with us right now. So let's talk a little bit about that video, because one, I gotta say, I'm feeling the retro vibe behind the video. It looks like it was a lot of fun to shoot. Let's walk me through that video shoot real quick.
That video was actually on my birthday. Actually, so we actually got lit.
So you turned up for real.
Yeah, because if it looks like we were lit in that video, we were actually.
It definitely
especially this dude.
They told me that I passed out a few times, man. They had to wake me up. He's like, yo, we have to shoot,
it's your time to shoot. And you just wake him up. Yo, wake up.
That's hilarious. You woke up and killed it.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I didn't know what's going on. I just said, just tell me what to do, and I got it. Yeah, that's it.
But the process behind it was crazy, though. I mean, big ups to Ashley and Miro. They came up with the concept, you know. I don't know what else to say. It was fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It definitely translated. Now, I'm assuming that this song, this track is a part of a project.
Yeah, it's the main single for our EP called Waves.
And when can people expect that?
Right now, we're really just focusing on the next single that we're gonna drop.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming out soon, so be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Yeah.
Definitely. We'll keep the people informed.
Yeah.
You know, as it comes to us. Now that actually brings me to a next question. Because I was actually having this conversation with somebody. I think it wasn't last week. It might have been the week before. Regardless, about singles versus full-length projects. So I kind of want to get you guys' takes on, you know, because the landscape of the way that music is promoted these days has kind of changed.
Yeah.
So what do you guys feel in terms of, you know, kind of focusing more on singles these days as opposed to just putting out a full-length project out of nowhere?
I feel like it's good because you're teasing them with the single. You know, you're showing what you got and what you expect on the new EP or on the new mixtape or whatsoever. And I just feel like it gets them more curious and more anticipated for what's coming up.
I mean, that's how the game is right now. I feel, you know, the way the game is right now is everybody's just popping singles first and then, okay, here's my project. You know what I'm saying? But I feel the whole album and the whole EP, I mean, is fire. You know, like.
Absolutely. Miro, talk to him.
It sounds like that's very interesting what you're saying about like the albums versus singles. You know what I mean? Like prior to when we listened to the full project, the project was done almost like how long ago? Like a year ago?
A year and a half ago.
And like we were planning to just release it like that, but like with the landscape, as you were saying, it's like let's put out singles out there, you know. And like I feel like right now how things are set up is like you could stretch singles longer than you could stretch the entire project. You know what I'm saying? Because like look at the love that we got off this one single, and I feel like I always use that Fetty Wap mentality, you know, like the Trap Queen record. I watched the interview with him, and he said he pushed that whole record for a year and a half before it actually blew. And to me, I'm like, yo, that's so smart, you know, the fact to be able to push a single for a whole year. So like, we're kind of trying to take that approach to things. So just to add on to that.
But I mean, it makes sense from a couple of different angles, because even financially, the amount of money that you're going to spend putting together an entire project, if you put that into a visual and a promotional campaign for one record and really put a push on that record, it can go places.
Exactly, and with Cash Wavy, what I like about them, like their whole mentality is like, they're not trying to make good records. They're trying to make great records. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that every single song they put out, it's a hit. You know, and that's what I really gravitate towards them. They're not really just thinking about like, oh, I want to put out music like that. No, I want to make sure that this single that we put out, or this track we put out, it could go as far as possible. So just want to add my 2 cents in there.
Absolutely. Hey, you're always welcome, man. You are always welcome. Now, April 20th is coming up. I see that you guys are headlining Hip Hop Basics. I think it's the 8th edition.
Yeah, the 8th edition. Yeah.
So for these beautiful people who may attend Montreal, what can people expect from CashWaveyBoiz live performance vibes, man?
From the last show, the Belmont, if they missed out on that, they really missed out, because we really
surprise coming for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Super lit.
Yeah.
I mean, we interacting with the crowd. Everybody's saying Cash Wavy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? It's not just us performing. We want you to have fun, and we're gonna have fun. Yeah.
That's what's up. It's important to incorporate the crowd too. A lot of, I don't want to say local, because that makes me look like I'm shitting on everybody. But so let me politically correctly navigate this conversation. I'll say a lot of aspiring. That's a good one. A lot of aspiring artists. You know, they tend to. They get on stage with, you know, their whole entourage, 30 dudes. Everybody's got shades on, and everybody's backs to the crowds. Everyone's screaming over each other. I think a lot of people have forgotten the importance of performance art, like really and truly.
Yeah.
So if you guys are really gonna bring the pain as a duo, then there's something I look forward to seeing, and I'm pretty sure that people will be refreshed to see two people, you know, with a bit of a choreographed performance, as opposed to just running back and forth on stage.
No, of course. And expect to take a shot with me right before the performance too, because I'm gonna get really lit before the performance too. Yeah.
I big you up. I can't do that anymore. No drinking before shows for me.
Nah.
Maybe I'm getting old. Who knows? But listen, man. Let's cut to another record from CashWaveyBoiz. Once again, don't go anywhere. We got the rest of the interview coming up in a couple of minutes' time. So we're gonna get into a song called "Call Me," and we'll be back with the rest of the interview in a couple of minutes. This is Heavy Hitters. We are live until 8 o'clock. Let's go, Montreal. Before I let you guys go, we were talking a little bit before the last music segment about the EP Waves. Now, walk us through the creative process for you guys, because every artist that comes in here, you know, as artists, we all have a different creative process. So I find it kind of interesting. Let's walk through the creative process of coming up with an EP, being that you guys are a group.
Start off.
Yeah. My everything, when I structure my shit, right, everything always starts off as a freestyle. I always try to find that first bar that'll catch someone's eye. And then I like to experiment. So when I'm writing, I don't want to stick with one flow. If you listen to other people's shit, it's always that one flow. I like to experiment with flows. So if you're listening to a CashWaveyBoiz track and a Frankie De Niro verse, it'll never be the same flow. It'll just keep catching you off guard. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of how we wanted the EP to sound, really is we were just really, really high. And, you know, we make smoking music, but at the same time, we were like, you know what? We should target the female audience.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the biggest support.
Exactly. You know, you don't see dudes going to Best Buy or whatever and just like, I want to buy that guy's CD. You know, it's the girls that make us big.
And it's a fact.
Exactly.
It
you know
is what it is.
So it's shout out to all the females. Yeah.
Pretty much the whole EP was kind of like it's crazy how he has a different style, like multiple type of styles in one verse, and I got just one smooth verse, and it just kind of
He's about the
blended,
bars.
Like it just blended kind of like really, without trying. It was really like naturally blended. And what's crazy is that he would create the hook. We wouldn't even tell each other's our verses. It'd just be like, yo, we just write, and then it blends perfectly.
And it would just complement each other.
You know, like
Yeah, that was actually my next question. Being again that you guys are a group, like, you know, because groups, it's weird with groups because as you guys said, some groups kind of write completely isolated in a different room, and then there's some groups that literally have to
work
be
together
on top of each other to make a song. So I was gonna ask you, once you come up with your part and you come up with your part, how do you guys come together and form a song?
That's the crazy thing.
That's the crazy thing.
We
Yeah.
don't try it. Just kind of we just go to the booth and be like,
you just
we
show up in
record
a
it.
booth
Yeah, and then it's like
yeah.
what he said correlates with what I said on my verse, and it just I don't know, man. It's some trippy shit. It's,
You guys just got like a natural.
Yeah, I mean,
talent.
I've known dude
That's what's
since
crazy, yeah.
since I was 13, so I mean, we already have that connection. You know, this is my dude, this is my boy for life, and really, we don't try to break our heads in writing the creative, in creating a song.
Right.
If I get inspired on something, I listen to the beat maybe 3-4 times, and then I'll come up with a hook, send it to him. Usually he tells me, yo, it's fucking fire, and then boom, he sends me his bars. I'm like, hey, I done my verse already. Let's get to the booth. Everything blends well. Everything blends well.
So let's talk a little bit more about the EP Waves. First and foremost, what inspired the name?
Because we are Cash Wavy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, but at the same time, yeah, this once the EP releases, Waves release, you'll be able to tell why it's called Waves. It's something that, okay, you pop in the car and you just want to just chill out, you know, at home, smoke. You know, it's just wavy, you know, because one of our biggest inspirations was Max B. That's why we call ourselves the CashWaveyBoiz, because we love Max B. And even though dude can't sing, he still brought the hooks and the flow, and that's what we tried to.
Arguably, he started the can't sing, but I'm gonna sing anyway vibe. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely kicked that off. Yeah,
So,
a lot of people wouldn't be where they are if Max B didn't do that.
yeah,
Exactly,
dude
yeah.
doesn't get that much credit for what he did for the culture, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But enough about Max B. But free up, absolutely. Last question I'm gonna ask you guys before I let you go ahead and plug the social medias and let these beautiful people know where they can find you guys at is, where do you draw the inspiration from?
I think I started off of because we used to do really like strong hip hop music, and it's kind of like we just had the idea like this whole music industry has changed from the past, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said,
We
it's
had
not-
to evolve.
Exactly,
Absolutely. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We had to adapt to what they have now, and it's kind of that's how we brought our sound, and we just kind of have like. I vibed a lot on the weekend, you know, the whole 6 Toronto, and it just kind of
when the weekend came out, that was like,
that was a
killer,
whole new
you know?
vibe. Yeah, I was like, yo, this is nice, you know, like, and this I feel like this is the new trend, you know, and this kind of like that's how we slowly adapted to that and brought kind of like a Toronto sound, but mixture with our, you know, like our type of sound, like Montreal, because a lot of people are looking for music, but they look towards Toronto. They don't really see Montreal, so we're trying to
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly. That's why we're in the process. Like the East is killing it right now. So I mean, like, it's time.
I mean, we're here to represent the West too.
Exactly, that's
you know
it.
what I'm
So
saying?
you know,
Shout out to my hood, NDG.
yeah, exactly. You know, that's why.
Big it up. Now, if these people want to follow you guys online, where can they do that? If they want to inquire about features or anything in general, where can people find you guys at online?
Now, you can hit us up. You could DM us on Instagram, Facebook. You can find our music everywhere. When I mean everywhere, everywhere. Shazam, Genius, Google Music, Amazon, Apple, Tidal, Spotify, everywhere. If you want an easier shortcut, just go to CashWaveyBoiz.com or email us at CashWaveyBoiz@gmail.com.
I like me some social media integration. It's nice when everything's all in one place. Jokes aside, it really is.
actually,
Nah, yeah, you can hit us up on CashWaveyBoiz.com and everything is there. Twitter as well.
Yeah, you got Twitter too. Yeah, Twitter.
Twitter as well.
Yeah, CashVA. Sorry, no, WAVEYBOIZ. CashWaveyBoiz.
Cash Wavy Boys, ladies and gentlemen. Do yourselves a favor. Go check out the last night video right now. Show us some love. Support that local, because as I say pretty much at the end of every interview, if you're not supporting the local scene, you can't complain that there is no local scene. It's just a fact. You can catch these guys performing at Hip Hop Basics April 20th. That is 420, so expect it to be super lit. Once again, go follow them online. Show them some love. Thank you guys for coming through, man. It's been real.